What's up, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Chromecast. My name's Joe, joined here today by Robbie.
I'm back.
And Gabriel.
Hello.
And Andy Cam.
Hey, guys.
Rocking his fresh roasted coffee shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I always forget that's a fresh roasted coffee shirt.
Yeah. I love it.
He always wears so many weird band shirts. That
I just never know.
If I see something weird, I'm like, it's probably
I love that one, though.
Andy Cam.
It's just Andy Cam, being Steezy Dreezy.
Mm-hmm. It's a new band, Andy Cam.
Yeah, that's right.
I like that.
You could call it.
Yeah.
That could be a band.
I just noticed that Dan is holding.
He's ready to play, man.
He's ready to play.
Yes.
It's been a golf kind of day here.
It has been. It certainly has been. I ordered some clubs and
last month?
Yeah, felt like it.
Yeah.
And I messed up. I ordered 2 sets by accident because the cart didn't update. I was checking price. It was a whole thing.
Joe spent $4,000.
I saw a shirt yesterday. Long story. I can get into that later maybe. But we were at it was at Jungle Gyms, actually. This crazy grocery store in Cincinnati. It's like Trader Joe's on steroids. And I walked by this guy and he just had a shirt that said, "Give me a second." Or let's say, no. Hold on. Let me overthink this.
Yeah, exactly. I had my order.
I need to get that for Joe.
I had my order completely ready to go, and then I was like, "Ooh, let me just check the set real quick," and then I clicked it out. I clicked out of it, but I didn't remove it from the cart. But my other tab was it was a whole thing.
Yeah, cookies.
Cookies.
Blame
Carried
cookies.
it.
I sent Trent a picture of the Flatso 5.
Flatso.
His only response was, "How much was that?" So I'm thinking maybe he might be interested.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
They have this yellow and black one is $21 on Amazon right now.
Slap it on
There
another
you
putter.
go.
I got a putter I might be able to sell you.
Robbie, we've talked about it on the pod. Wow.
Stop it.
We've talked about it on the show before, but Robbie is he's just he's an influencer. And
Can't help it.
bought
I can't help it.
Bought some clubs, and I was hitting on them and really enjoyed them, so I ended up ordering the same type, slight variation.
They are
but
wildly affordable.
that's the
for
main thing.
Very good golf
Yeah.
clubs.
Right.
Yeah, PXG 0211s. Shout out to PXG.
And just a few years ago, PXGs, unless you were ready to drop a lot of money,
they
you
were
weren't even
not
considering
affordable.
PXGs. They're great. They have some pros that use them. They're a relatively new golf club company, but they just came out of the gate expensive.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they've got a line of irons now that has a lot of their tech in it, but is reasonably reasonably inexpensive.
And I was able to get a new putter. Got a milled putter. So we were talking about the grip, the Flatso
nice.
5 Super Stroke, and it milled putter for with the extra grip, it ended up being $225, which for a milled putter.
Was it $199? I thought it was $150.
Or it might have been $150 and I paid $175.
Yeah,
then. I can't remember
because I was looking at them today.
Or it was like whatever. But still, anywhere around $200
Did you have to
for
pay
a milled putter
for all that travel time?
Yeah, luckily no.
Gas prices.
FedEx was like, "Hey man, look.
We don't normally do this, but
I'm gonna need you to kick in a little bit.
Yeah,
okay?
a little bit.
Separate golf stuff coming soon. We're getting there. We're getting there. But yeah, we've been rocking and rolling. We put out an unboxing this morning.
Yeah.
I guess afternoon. It felt like morning, but we didn't put it out at 1 o'clock.
It was part of the morning.
Yeah, it was part of the morning.
Yeah.
Andy Cam knocked the edit out of the park. Shout out to Andy Cam.
Yep, look good.
And yeah,
I made some pork. That's my only thing.
and then we ate some food, and now we're podcasting.
not
This
true.
is our world. But these bad boys, it's the Pixel Buds Pro.
Yeah, I'm
Look
gonna
at
turn my
that color.
Bluetooth off because they're gonna keep.
They're gonna keep connecting. So last week we started talking about these a little bit, and then we weren't sure what we were able to actually talk about, so we ended up cutting out some part of it. We were like, Robbie was like, "We can't say that. I don't know." So because
I'm homesick, but I know
scolding
better.
us from
You
afar.
can't do that.
Yeah. So
We couldn't talk.
the
about
embargo has lifted, and boom, we have them.
You probably noticed.
You can
if
buy
you're
'em.
listening to this at about 1 o'clock on Thursday, a bunch of Pixel Buds Pro reviews showed up on.
Yeah,
the
I didn't
internet.
look.
That's how that'll work.
Embargo
I was
lifted.
assuming that all Best Buy and everything would have them. But
I haven't even looked yet.
Like the 6A,
that was the thing today. Like,
Yeah.
you could order them on the 21st, but today they should be in stores.
Right.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
same thing with the 6A. You can buy them in store today, but oddly enough, our local Target has 3 Pixel 6As, but our Best Buy has 0. We would have to
Right.
drive to Louisville to buy
Ooh,
one.
Andy Cam, can you look at Target and see if they have Pixel Buds Pro?
Ooh, yeah, that'd be nice.
Just out of
to
curiosity.
see. Yeah.
This
It's funny.
is-
My wife works at Target, and an employee was asking her, she's like, "Hey, can you ask your husband about the Pixel Buds Pro?" We hadn't gotten ours yet, so I had no information
but,
for him.
But we've talked about this before. Like from a consumer, on a consumer level, these could be far-reaching, right? You
Yeah.
can use these with any Android phone, and
Wow.
yeah, any Android phone and
Sorry.
the Pixel.
I was like, "What is that shocking that you
just
can use the Pixel?"
no, the Coral and the Fog are 2 to 3 week availability right
Dang,
now, so
probably
they must
sold
have
out.
sold them really quickly. But no, our Best
Fog
Buy
looks-
does not have Pros either.
Yeah.
No.
Nothing.
Ship them August 2nd to 4th. So next
Target.
Did you check
Week.
Target?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, but our Target is tiny and our Best Buy
Yeah.
is tiny.
Yeah, we don't we're not in a big metropolitan area, and so,
Yeah, so
we
we
don't
have-
get stock of a lot of stuff.
I mean,
our
it's-
Best Buy
it's
is like a little
relative.
small Best Buy. Yeah, it's
Out where
growing.
my brother lives, this is very metropolitan.
It's all. I guess it is all
It actually
relative.
shows on the Target site that this item is not sold in stores.
Oh, they
Oh,
right
yeah,
now,
Target may
they
not
do it.
have.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can see that. I guarantee you they sell AirPods.
AirPods.
They
Yeah,
do.
and maybe they will get these eventually.
Target
You know,
loves
they'll
them some
start-
Apple.
Yeah, they'll maybe start selling these eventually. But $199 is getting
Yeah.
you some, I think, really excellent.
Feature packed.
Yeah, like really excellent wireless earbuds, ANC, and all sorts of goodies. So, Robbie, you've actually been using them because when we got them, the embargo
Yeah.
was tied to your
Yeah,
email.
so
So,
we-
you set them up and used
We'll try
them.
that later today and see if y'all can give them
Yeah.
a ride. I like them a lot, but these will have to be returned, and so I got to decide if I actually want to go purchase some now.
Yeah.
at
And
this
before
point.
you get into like what all these do well, explain a little bit of some of your wireless earbud process that
The
you've
journey.
got, the journey you've been on.
I think Gabe's eclipsed me at this point.
I know. Gabe.
No.
But I went
Anybody
through-
that emailed
Yeah.
us that said they had a pair of earbuds, Gabe was like, "Yeah, I'll try 'em."
Yeah, Robbie's like been on that white whale hunt for
I just want the
that-
one.
The
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Me, I just like having lots of wireless earbuds that work well. I don't need like the perfect earbud, but as long as the sound quality is good and they
Yeah.
fit well.
And for
I do
for like under $50
Reasonable
to be able
price.
to say like you
Yeah.
can get a decent pair of headphones.
Yeah,
for
because
this
I have
price.
like 3 or 4 sets that have wireless charging, which I love. I have 2 on my desk right now that we play Apex or whatever at lunch, and I just throw them on my little Moshi charger, and they sit there and they stay charged. I love it,
Yeah.
and they don't cost $30.
exactly.
Yeah, and like the issue has been for me, like going through all of these different earbuds, is there are always different hang-ups and stuff. And what ended up happening, and still the ones I've carried longest still have a hang-up to them. So I've yet to find like the one,
Yep.
like the one set that does all the things I need of them. And so I'm not requiring the best audio sound. I'm not requiring the absolute best ANC, but I need ANC. There are certain times. I remember you and I were over working in Starbucks,
Yep.
and I just had my regular AirPods
was-
in, and we were right under a speaker, and then there was the chatter, and I was trying to listen to music, and I was like,
And then it's like
we'd be like,
it's almost
this
Chaos.
is
yeah,
worse.
Yeah.
It's almost better just to take them out at that point. Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I need to buckle down and deal with this. And maybe I'm just vain, but I'm not going to wear over the head earphones, for an hour here and there, because then I'm gonna have a huge dent. Put stuff in my hair. There would just be a big dent in it, and like it looks goofy. And so then it's like, if we got to do a video, I got to think through all that stuff. And so I'm like, I've always kind of strayed away from that. I love my QCs; they're
Yep.
great headphones, but
Yeah.
Joe took them from me. So.
I did.
Yeah,
I commandeered them.
Those Harman Kardons that Lovesac sent,
They're
they're
great.
incredible. I will take those if we go on a long flight somewhere. That'll
And
probably
see,
be
and that's
it.
like having ANC. I was like, okay, I want that for back when I was really looking. It had to do with that too. Like I knew we were on a plane 3 or 4 times a year, and like having that at my disposal is nice. And so a lot of those things got solved in the AirPods Pro. I just didn't want to pay
Sure.
$250 for wireless earbuds. And so I tried all sorts of different ones, but really came down to, sound has to be decent. I need some ANC, and then I really would like gaming lag to be better.
Right.
And so, the Pixel Buds, I've tried all of them. I've tried the Razer Hammerhead, which were gaming focused ones, but they had a weird case. They sat opposite in the case, and they were more like regular AirPods. There's no ANC in them, and they weren't the most comfortable. Like, I can wear the standard AirPods all day long. I could literally put them in my ear, never take them out, and I'd be completely comfortable. Like this, it's the same shape as these.
Yep.
Like, I have no ear fatigue whatsoever. We finished the podcast. It's been 2 hours. It doesn't matter. I don't feel like I'm wearing anything right now.
And those type are horrible for me for whatever, I guess, because my ear shape. I've never, like the Pamus are sticks, but they still have the bud that kind of fits in.
Right.
The ones that just rest there, I can't do. I've never been
and
able
that's
to.
been the problem with them. Like, they either fit you and you love them, or they don't work. And so, and there's no noise canceling. Like, if anybody ever figures out the magic to be able to take this sort of earbud and somehow make that noise canceling, I don't think it's even possible. I don't know how they would even
some
do
of this
it.
stuff with AI and machine learning that Google's doing to do the
hear and like emit the noise to it would have to be something spectacular, like
crazy technology.
We'll talk about the Pixel Buds ANC that are doing a little bit of that.
Silent seal, as we learned they're calling it.
But anywho, so the search went through lots of different earbuds, and so when the original Pixel Buds came out, like, I was hopeful that, like, these are going to be it. This is going to be the thing. And no, they don't have ANC, but they do a good job of blocking out sound, and they do to an extent. But if you get into a spot where there's white noise or a lot of crowd noise, they're just not going to block that out other than just turning the volume up. So when these were announced, it was like, okay, I think these check all the boxes. Like, they do all the things I want them to do. Because my biggest gripes, plural, with the AirPods Pro right now, the fit's great. I still, they're not as comfortable to me as standard, just all plastic AirPods, but they're pretty good. I can wear them for a long period of time and be fine. But the biggest gripe is if I don't have a wireless charger around, I've got to find a lightning cable. I keep one in my bag, but it gets buried, and sometimes I lend it to, like you've asked for it sometimes, and I forget, or I leave it plugged in the wall, and I've had them die when I've been out and about, and I'm like I forgot that cable, because I only have one, and nobody I know, like none of my family uses Apple stuff, and so we just don't have them. And so it's like, well, I'll just put these down, and I'll get back to them on Monday. And so that's one big gripe I've got with them. And then secondly, it's just the fact that they're built to use Apple products with. Yeah. I mean, yes, they technically do work, but they would, refuse to pair a lot of times with my Pixel. They would drop connection in the middle of a game, just turn off. One would connect and the other wouldn't, and I don't blame any of that on the AirPods. Honestly, it's mainly the fact that they are designed 100% to be used with Apple products. It's how Apple stuff works. It's what they want to do, and I'm sure they work flawlessly with their Apple siblings. Right. But I've forced them for the better part of 2 years to work with my Android devices, and again, it does technically work, but there's no benefits. I have no controls, none of the settings, nothing. I can do nothing on these AirPods except turn them on, connect them, and click on and off ANC. Yeah. That's it.
Right. And then that was the opposite with the original Pixel Buds, which you got all the benefits.
Right. And
they weren't horrible headphones. They were good headphones audio wise. They didn't do the things that they should.
The main thing, like stay connected.
So
and they should have, like, at least with Pixels they should have. And so the A series solved a lot of that, but they took away some of the cooler parts. Like, I was talking to Andrew today just about the fact that I was writing the piece to go along with the video, and I was like, ooh, I just want to try something, because I honestly can't ever do this. So I got up from my desk, I walked 2 offices over into this office where our golf simulator is. I turned off noise canceling, and then I clicked the button, paused the music, so I could hear basically like I normally would, because I've tried to hit golf balls with headphones in. It's super weird. I don't know why, but not hearing the sound of the golf club through the air and hitting the ball really jars me for some reason. I have no idea why. So and so I was like, okay, if I have the pass through, the transparency mode on and no music, I could probably hear it, which it worked. It was fine. It sounded a little bit different, but it worked. I was able to hit some balls, but I didn't lose connectivity. And then I was like, well, I wonder what a little bit of music would sound like. So I clicked it, turned it back on, and then used my swipes and turned it down and got it just for some ambient music. I was like, I could kind of get used to this, being on like a driving range or at Top Golf or something, and have a little music in, and they're comfortable. They're not falling out while I'm swinging the golf club. And And again, I'm multiple walls between us, and these are plaster walls. They're thick. They have we figured out they have like drywall, then plaster, and then paneling, and then another drywall, and then and so they're thick walls,
several layers,
and no connection issues whatsoever. And so like having some of those extra abilities is so nice over the AirPods.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about all the extra features that are in here, but I want to get this one thing out of the way before, so that we can just talk about positive things after this. The first, I was literally anxious, like my stomach was stirring when I got these, because the first thing I did was connect them. I was like, yeah, let's go, and loaded up Apex and jumped in the shooting range and went and grabbed a pistol and held it up, and I was like, here we go, and I hit it.
Oh no!
And like it was just sad, because I'm like, that's exactly the way the other ones are, it's. And so then I at least proceeded to take a moment and test the AirPods Pro, because those and the regular AirPods, to me, exhibit the same amount of lag that something like a gaming, Bluetooth, like the Razors, it all felt the same to me.
Yeah.
Which to me is like, hey, this is the fastest thing that Bluetooth codecs can do at this point. I don't know what the technical millisecond is or whatever, but and so I put my AirPods back in and hit it and tried to kind of time it, the tempo I'd have, comparing that to basically seconds on the clock that was next to me, and I was like, roughly a fifth to a quarter of a second is what I'm getting. And then I put the Pixel Buds Pro back in, did the same thing, and it was definitely at least half a second. So it's twice the amount of latency that you're getting with, again, Wise Buds Pro. Probably every set of headphones that are sitting on Gabe's desk. AirPods, the AirPods Pro. So it's not like it's unique to AirPods or something. And so that's a bit of a bummer, but we've got the ear of somebody at Google, and we're at least in the early phases of saying, hey, is this something we can get worked out? We're going to talk about the couple upcoming features that aren't on here yet that Google has. They actually told 9 to 5 Google this. Probably would have told us too, just didn't think to ask, to be honest. A couple things that are coming in the fall, the features they already have lined up to come via firmware update to these. So if they can do that kind of stuff over the air, and they can be like, hey, that feature's not there, we can make it there. One of two things is very easy to do. One, they can just take the latency down. It's probably going to reduce the battery life. I really think they wanted to keep the battery life is ridiculous. It's rated at 31 hours. I feel like that's realistic. I had them in the
Did
entire...
you have the Galaxy Buds at one point?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
What was latency
I've
on
had those, the Buds Pro, the little... It was the same as all the others.
Right, so
Same.
it just worked. Yeah, okay.
Like, I've had enough headphones at this point that exhibit the same amount of latency that I'm like, that's normal.
Yeah.
That's normal latency. The latency has been turned up on this, and I guarantee it's just like screen refresh or anything else. Sure. It's the number of times it's got to send data back and forth. If you slow that down a little bit, it probably saves you some battery, and that's fine for literally everything other than gaming.
Right,
because everything else can just shift itself to match the latency that you have.
Yeah, and I get them wanting to focus on battery life, and that's good. They should, but they don't need to come out trying to beat everyone. The Galaxy Buds Pro, which are arguably some of the best headphones out there, there are better, but they are. So what? How much are they?
I don't remember. They were close, 150 to 200.
Handy cam?
I was thinking the Pros were like 300, but I could be totally wrong.
I tried the
Do not
Pros. I
remember.
tried the
180 right now.
Okay, right now. So, but anyways, they're 8 and 28 on battery life, not 11 and 31. So
I guarantee that's about what you would see if you just took that latency off. And so
do it.
So here's two things. So the original Pixel Buds, not the wireless ones, the one that had the goofy wire between them, that were just awful pieces of hardware. They issued a software fix for those to fix the lag for gaming. So we thought that they would do that eventually for the Pixel Buds. They never did. But they were also dealing with 1,000 other problems, and that probably wasn't high on the list. The Pixel Buds A series, I don't think they were worried about changing anything except fixing all the stuff they had before with the original Pixel Buds. I feel like with these, maybe there's a realistic chance that we could see them fix that. And the fact that they've responded through our contacts and want me to file a bug report with all these certain things, and hopefully once they look at it, they realize like, hey, this is this could be fixed. So they could just fix it and change it. I don't see that happening. What I do see happening is a game mode.
Right.
So it can be linked to the Pixels game mode. It could just be in the Pixel Buds app. Because
that's what they do on phones, and it should be like, hey, here's an option for people that want it, but if you don't want it, it's not going to kill your battery life because it's disabled by default. Now the A series, the latency is the same, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they'll discontinue them eventually, but they're giving them away free with the Pixel 6A's. I would think if they
fix it here,
they should fix it there.
Yeah, because I think it would end up going through the Pixel Buds app.
Yeah, because I'm not buying a $99 set of headphones thinking, oh, these should have 4-day battery life.
Right.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, and like again, I think if it's a Switch and people could choose, you can have the crazy battery that's and I would say it's probably realistic. I had them in all morning working on that post, so it was a solid 2 hours I had them in with noise canceling on, music playing through them the whole time, and they dropped to 94%. So
it's horrible.
That was 2 hours.
That's pretty good.
That's 4 hours for every 10%. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's saying, and then that's not going to be realistic. It's not going to be 40 hours, but it's tracking 40 hours at that point. So I'm like, they're getting crazy good battery life, so there should be room for them to fix that one issue that I've got. And that being said, I was able to play Apex Legends, for instance, because it's kind of a crazy game with so much stuff going on. It was like, I'm not hearing everything in real time, but this game is not one of those strategic you're sitting back and listening for the footstep over here and then waiting for this thing. You're just like blah going crazy. Where it was really off-putting, honestly, was I got a crossword puzzle game that I play, and it has sounds when you hit the key press, and I notice I'm sitting there and I click the thing to put it in. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's ridiculous, honestly. Like, it should not be this laggy. So, anywho, that's the only downside, literally. I put that in the article. Like, hopefully they'll add some stuff, but I don't know that Google's going to have to go scramble to fix a bunch of things this time around. It's not like, oh God, we released this product, now we got to go fix it for the next 2 months. Like, not really.
Everything else seems.
I will
good.
say this: the reverse charging from my Pixel seems to be working swimmingly. I tried to do this with another set of headphones the other day, and it would work for a second, and then it would stop. It was almost like it wasn't compatible, but this seems to be working fine.
Yeah.
So.
And some of that is maybe not that specifically, but these extras that you get with the Pixel Buds is something to consider. If you have a Pixel phone, you're just getting this seamless integration. And me and Robbie were talking about, because I was putting together a little Instagram post, and it's like, it's not necessarily super specific to Pixel necessarily, but it's through the Pixel Buds app, and it just works.
But it's baked into a Pixel,
right?
So
And
I didn't have to do anything.
Right, there's no setup. There's no whatever.
You open it, the toast showed up.
Yeah,
now we
that's
had a
great.
hard time showing that on video, and I realized why. If you dig deep into your Google Play settings, even if you forget it from your Bluetooth, it's still saved in your account. So as soon as I flip it open, it's like, hey, do you want to repair those? And like, they're still saved. Do you want them? So I had to go all the way down into that level and get them out of there.
Okay.
And then I got the new, like once I let them sit for like 10 seconds and open them up, I got that toast as if it's a new device.
Right.
So that's one of the benefits. Like, yes, with an Android phone, I would think fast pair there's probably a prompt that says download the Pixel Buds app or something, and that's fine. That's how you do with most every other bud. But if you buy Samsung Galaxy Buds, when you have a Samsung phone, they just kind of work together.
Right.
It's the same kind of thing here. It's just baked in. You open it, the toast is there. It walks you right through the setup process. You've got it's got a setting in there, and I can't remember if it did this on older ones. Probably not, because there was no noise canceling, but Samsungs have done this for a while. Apple's done this. I think Apple was the first to do this. But, it has a little thing that actually it plays a little bit of music, and it's testing the seal of your earbud. So if you've stuck in the big one, the tip that's too large for your ear canal, or the one that's too little and it's not getting a good seal, like it can detect that for you and say, hey, you probably need to try a different one. And so you can kind of, if you're not used to trying this on your own, like I can kind of tell pretty quickly whether it's setting. I've got one that's usually takes the largest tip, one that takes the smallest on the other. So my ear canals are very different sizes apparently. I think it's that. There might just be one step off. I can't remember. I always have to try it and mess with it because I had both of them one size too large at first. Like they were good and sealed, but after about 40 minutes, they were hurting my head.
Yeah.
So I took them out and went down one size, and they both still sealed. And in that, they've got that new, what did you call it? What was it?
Silent Seal.
Silent
is what
Seal.
They've branded it.
So weird.
So that's using AI and machine learning to go, hey, the seal's not great. There's some sound getting by, but we can compensate for that with whatever.
It's
magic.
like digital great stuff. The stuff you fill holes in the wall with. That's what it is.
Just
It's like,
fills
hey,
it out.
there's a hole there. Let's fill
Well,
it up.
in case you're listening, you don't know how noise canceling works. That's kind of what it's doing anyway.
Yeah.
So it's using the microphones there's actually 2 on each earbud.
3.
There's 3 mics. There's 2 spots. There might be some mics around here.
Yeah, there's 3 mics per bud.
Yeah, I guess there's 2 probably, and maybe 1.
Yeah.
There's probably 1 probably for your voice.
Yeah.
They've got like beamforming that
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
picks up on. I don't know. There's a lot of tech going on. But the noise canceling basically is listening to the outer area, and then it's using reverse frequencies to cancel them out. And if you've never experienced this, I'm trying to remember where I saw this. You can
TED Talk.
yeah, there was something where it was something normal, and you could listen to it, and you could fire this other sound from another source and hear it in front of you just go away. You know, I mean, they're sound waves. So when you have a sound wave that blocks another sound wave, your ear doesn't pick up on it, doesn't discern. It's not that it's gone. It just your ear's not going to pick up on it anymore. And so that's, the engineers at Bose a long time ago figured this out for airplane pilots. And so once they figured out, if we seal this pretty well, we can use microphones on the outside to pick up on what's coming in and shoot some other waves to shoot that stuff down. And that's how all this works. And so it's not strange that they're using that to continually push and, say, okay, well, we can also do a little bit extra of that if there's some stuff seeping through. I don't know how it picks up on that.
Yeah. And is it doing it dynamically? Like,
sure. I don't know.
so like if your earbud were to maybe like slide out of your ear a little
Is
bit,
it
is
still
it going to
fixing it?
The way
automatically
they
adjust?
demonstrated at I/O, it seems like it is.
Because
like
they said it's powered
constantly
through.
scanning, so.
It's powered through AI and machine
It
learning.
wouldn't shock me. I mean, it's with the Google Home Max. It's 4 or 5 years old at this point.
Yeah.
It dynamically adjusts its EQ based on the room. It bounces sound off. It hears what's booming and what's not, and fixes itself like constantly. And so I would assume the same type of thing can be happening in here too. And so regardless of exactly what it's doing and when it's doing it, I can tell you the ANC is great. It's really, really solid. Especially if you're going to compare it to something like the AirPods Pro, which most people would say is good noise canceling. It's not the best. It's not QC. What are those? QC
35.
Yeah, QC 35 Mark II. It's not that level because you're not getting the same type of seal you get with a cup over your ear. But it's really good. Very usable and exactly what I am looking for. Like today when I needed to knock that article out, just hold long press on the thing and everything just kind of shuts down around me, and you're in that spot with just your music, and you don't have to have your music blaring because that's almost just as distracting as I got this loud enough so I'm not hearing the conversations in the room, but now the music's so loud I can't really think straight. And so to be able to knock all of this down to probably 20% of what it normally would be and just have my music at a little 30 to 40%, it's this great soundscape, and it's really nice. And I think even better, I feel like I read one of the reviews that they didn't like the transparency mode, but I love it. I think it's great. Every headphone I've tried with transparency mode always goes nuts with the high frequencies. Like if you were to crumple some paper or something, it's like so
really
harsh.
sharp. Yeah.
And the cheaper the earbud gets, the worse that gets. Like the WiseBuds Pro, like it's so crass. And so you can hear stuff through, but it's just not balanced well. The Pixel Buds Pro, I feel like when they go into transparency mode, I can tell there's something in my ear, but not much. Like it's passing through this really nice balanced amount of stuff, and conversations sound really natural. And so I think that's an important part, just as important as anything else. Like if the pass-through sounds robotic, you're never going to want to use it, actually.
Right.
This is so nice sounding. Like, and I noticed too, if you take one out, it obviously stops your music and all that kind of stuff, but it immediately switches the other one that's in your ear, to transparency mode. So if you're taking a call, like it just feels airy, like it's not really in there. And then obviously you could hold it and change it back over if you wanted to, but it's, there that part of it in the sound, like I think all the Pixel Buds have sounded good. I'm not an audiophile. Like I'm not, the bass response needs to be, whatever. The bass sounds great without crowding it. The mids sound good without being super muffled and woofy sounding, and the highs are crispy without being overdone. it just all sounds great. So I mean, with that and the ANC and stuff, that's the most important part of this. They need to sound good. They need to block noise when they need to. They need to let through noise when they need to. And for that and the connectivity being so solid and the controls on it, like that's the main part of the experience.
Right.
Like there's all this other stuff, sure.
Yeah,
but
and that's the
main
thing. If they're hitting on all of that, obviously we hope that they focus on getting the latency fix and stuff. But if they hit on all of that, that's a huge win for them, and they can actually market these. Because we have long cracked jokes that we watch, Google conferences and stuff like that, and half the employees at Google are wearing AirPods.
Yeah.
And this is why Google has yet to have a set of earbuds that do those things well.
Yeah.
But if they are great for our calls, they're great for video, they're great for all that stuff, they now have a product that can compete. Because honestly, I mean, yeah, there are a lot of people that use gaming headphones, but it's still a very narrow segment compared to the people that are walking down the street in New York on the phone for work, listening to music, talking on video calls. That's a way bigger segment of users. So
yeah, and I think you have to address that. And again, it's not like with the gaming thing that we're looking at it going, it needs to be latency free. You need to figure it out. Like no one's figured that out. Like it's Bluetooth. That's it's just part of it for right now. I don't know that maybe one day there'll be a Bluetooth spec that's latency free, but it's such low bandwidth that would be very difficult.
Yeah.
But for the meantime, it needs to match what other earbuds are doing, and not other $300 earbuds or $200 earbuds. It needs to match what $50 earbuds are doing already at this point. And so, like, I've almost gotten to the point, even the cheapest earbuds you pick up, I fully assume they're probably not going to have any more lag than anything else.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so weird with these. Like, you got everything else in here. Like that shouldn't even be a concession, and I hate that it is. I really wanted to be able to say, like, it does everything else well, and they finally fixed the gaming thing. Anyway, move on. Like, we don't need to be harping on this anymore. Like, this shouldn't be a thing that we're talking about.
But now we're gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about any other, are there any other software kind of specific stuff that you're getting with these when you're using it with the Pixel? Is there anything else other than, obviously you're getting the nice integration with the Pixel? Everything's connecting easily. There's not really.
Yeah, I assume like it would.
What was
depend
the
on
couple
your
things
phone.
in the app that we clicked into that you were
There's
pointing out?
multipoint. There's multipoint, and what's the other?
Was it adaptive?
Let me get the name of it. They're both kind of two parts.
Audio
of the same
switching.
thing. Yeah. So audio switching is, I believe the audio switching is the one where it's tied to your account, and you can just. The next device picks it up and says, "Hey, you have a thing paired with this already. Do you want to use them here?" Yes. And you click it and go. So you can kind of switch back and forth easily without going through the Bluetooth pairing process. Multipoint is where you can actually attach it to two devices, and I actually got it working for a minute with the Chromebook.
Yeah.
I think part of it works with fast pair as well. So there's some stuff in there that the Chromebooks need to fix to make it work best. It didn't work at first at all, and then today I got it working for like 10 minutes, but I switched back and forth like 10 times, and then it stopped working. So I may have just made it bad. I don't know. But
It was like, hey, bud,
Look,
take it easy.
Please.
So
Calm down.
I had it paired. Basically, I had it paired to my phone, and then I went and did the pairing process with with the Chromebook. And the Chromebook's fast pair stuff at least gives you the toast notification. It's a quick pairing process. Like as soon as it goes into pairing mode, I don't have to go hunt it down, pair a new device, click it pops up, you click it. That part of fast pair works. And then it was connected to both. Like I'm looking at my phone, it says connected to Pixel Buds Pro, and the Chromebook says connected to Pixel Buds Pro. I was like, So I started playback on my audio here, and I was like, okay, and I hit pause. And then I started a video playback on the Chromebook, and it picked up, and I hit pause, and I started it back on my phone. I was like, oh, it's working. And then I got excited, and it stopped. But
Push the button one too many times.
But that's the idea of multipoint. Like, you would use the access part to basically get them paired up to where it's, you don't have to pair it twice to two different devices. But once it's done, like between your Chromebook and your phone, for instance, you can just switch back. You don't even have to switch it. You don't have to click connect again. It's connected in real time to both. It's just whichever one plays first is the one that starts playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I think that would work on other phones. I guess as long as the Bluetooth codec on the phone is whatever 5.2, I would assume. But we'd have to almost try it. We're all Pixel people now.
Yeah.
We need a non-Pixel phone around the office now to try these things out. 'Cause I'm assuming it would work. I think. I don't know.
I want to say there was something in the blog post about the phone doesn't even have to be 5.2.
It was like Play Services 8 or something like that. Android 8 or something like that. Yeah, let me look in the options here, make sure. I know I mentioned it earlier. There are two pretty big upcoming things for Pixel Buds Pro. One is spatial audio. So they've already said spatial audio is coming, which means, if I'm looking at a thing here, when I turn my head, I'm only going to hear it out of this side and then out of this side. So it puts the audio in space. We've seen the gyroscopes and stuff are existing already in this device. What was the other thing they're adding? Upcoming feature. Can you look? I think it was 9 to 5 Google's the one that published it. They had talked to Google about it. It should be at the top of their page. 9 to 5 Google. Andy Cam's going to find that. While I'm thinking about that, let's see. Touch controls, that would be on every Android device. They do still have, that's what it was, a 5-band EQ.
Oh,
right.
Sorry, Andy Cam. My brain worked faster. So right now you have a volume EQ switch in here. So it's in there with the noise canceling or the transparency modes. It says connect your earbuds to adjust settings. Once you do, you click volume EQ on, and it just uses some smarts to go, this song would be better with a little bit enhanced bass. It's kind of that adaptive EQ. It's not quite what that was before because you don't need it as much. Adaptive EQ is more about cranking it up when things got loud around you.
Yeah.
But I think that's about it. I mean, the ear tip seal check would be on all phones. Yeah. I think all the features come along, which is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice that you don't have to have a Pixel, I don't think, to do it. Now, there could be some features down the road that they roll out, and it's on just like a lot of other features
there was
that
something
come to Pixels and stay with Pixels for 6 months, and then it's like, everybody
it was something the original Pixel Buds, like, because we had OnePluses back then, and we had the Pixel Buds app installed, but there was something you couldn't do with the OnePlus that you could. Can't remember what it was.
It's like live translation and all that. Is that available to everyone?
No, it wasn't. No.
Yeah, I've not read anything about the Translate stuff, but I think that stuff's all baked into Android now.
I think it's all part,
and it's part of Google Assistant. So
part of the Assistant stuff,
there wouldn't be any difference there. Yeah, I don't know. And I think maybe if we discover a handful of things that we find that it's like, this only does work on the Pixel, and this is better. It's better to have these two together than not. That's something we can make some content about. But for right now, I think Google's probably aiming to say, it's going to set up easier with your Pixel, and it goes really nicely with your Pixel, but
it's going to work with
anybody that has an Android phone is going to work with.
And going back to kind of where we started, that's why these could sell. If folks out there are looking for a nice pair of headphones and they're like, I've heard of like the AirPods, but I have this other,
Android.
I have this OnePlus, or I have this, Samsung or whatever. I don't want to buy those other ones. These look nice. These look, these have this kind of cool design, and they're from Google, and for $199, you're getting a lot here, which is nice.
I mean, it's got every feature you could ask for in a wireless earbud. And we didn't talk about the shape too. They're kind of a bean shape now.
Hold it over here.
And so they instead of the old ones that kind of use that thorn to push against the back side of your ear and hold the main part in your ear, these more just the whole thing just sits kind of in your ear. I'll be interested to see, make sure that they fit well for you all, but like you've used multiple ones that have that kind of shape, and they've all been fine. Yeah. I think it's a better least common denominator kind of design.
Yeah, because like the thorn didn't bother me one bit on either of the A or the regular Pixel Buds, but I know a lot of people, the first generation, after 2 or 3 hours of use, like it was painful. And I totally get that.
I'd have to rub my ears.
And these, I mean, you're going to get the same thing like any earbud that goes in, for me, that goes in my ear, including the AirPods Pro. If I've got them on for 2 solid hours, like I've got to take them out for a few minutes and just let my ears rest and then put them back in. It's not necessarily painful or anything. Just eventually it's like, I need to adjust this thing for a minute, let my face go back to where it is. These, because of the way they sit for some reason, I don't know.
My wife keeps
don't bother me.
She keeps one Raycon in all day at home. I don't know how she does it. Like, I'm talking 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, you do get better at it. And any earbud you wear that doesn't cause you pain, if you wear them for longer periods of
time.
Now, the Raycons are comfortable.
Just training.
Your body will adapt to it. That was the problem to me with the old Pixel Bud design, is that if it's causing you pain, you'll never do that. You'll never adapt
Nope.
to it because it hurts. So as long as it doesn't hurt, it might not feel like the most comfortable thing. Like just like those headphones, those are great, comfortable headphones. But after a couple hours, it's like, I need to take it off for a minute. Like you don't wear your hat in the same exact position all day long. You take it off and kind of okay, and put it back on. We adjust our clothes constantly all day. We adjust everything. So it's ridiculous to think that you can put a set of earbuds in and never touch them all day. Like after an hour or two, I want to take them out and just kind of okay, put them back. And that's how I've been with those. Like as long as I take them out for 30 seconds or something, once every hour or two, I've not had any issue with them.
Yeah, and I love the colors. I like this. This is the lemongrass.
Yep.
And then fog, sage.
Yeah, the fog is like an off-white, like a grayish white.
What's the other two? Sage.
Corals, though. They went with corals.
Coral,
Did they?
sage, fog, lemongrass. Yeah.
They have sage?
Okay.
I thought they had, what's the black one?
Oh,
Charcoal.
Black. Charcoal.
Yeah.
Fog.
I think charcoal,
Yeah,
fog,
so
lemongrass.
Yeah,
Coral.
coral, fog, charcoal, lemongrass.
Right, because sage is the 6A.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
Duh. Yeah. I was
They
like,
should've
sage something.
made a sage.
That would have been cool if you get it and have a match.
Yeah, the color, because the colorway of that Pixel 6A is great.
For anybody who's wondering, the case is
They don't change color.
no, I'm saying size. Basically, exactly the
Yeah,
same.
because the original Pixel.
You can get the D brand.
I was just thinking hypercolor, man. Like you get them hot. It's our color. No, it's good.
Did they change? No, they all had the same color case, didn't they?
Yeah.
The original.
Yeah.
It was the Pixel Buds A that did with the green
Inside.
ones. The inside was
Yeah.
the same
Match.
color.
No, then there's companies that make skins. There's companies that make cases. There's
Cases,
one that's like an
silicone case.
official Google partner because they're like sold out already. I can't remember what they're called, but it's on the Google store. But they make like wood ones and stuff like that. But
Huh.
yeah.
But yeah, the case itself is the exact same height and the exact same width as the originals. So if you've used the Pixel Buds or Pixel Buds A, same. I want to say it's probably like 2 millimeters wider across the front. Without having the other here, it's hard to even tell that it's any different. Like I wasn't sure until
Still
I
gonna
had
fit
them
in your
side by
pocket.
side.
Still gonna fit in your pocket.
I have
well.
an idea for a skin though. We have the Ninja Turtle skins for the Pixel phones.
What's happening here?
Ike. And if you
That's
know,
so
you
far.
know. If you don't
That'd be
know,
great.
I'm patenting that, so
That
don't
would
even
be
think
great.
about it. That's great.
The great magnet.
Oh yeah,
It
little
is.
magnet,
Yeah, it's so good.
Um,
Oh, yeah, that's what my wife's old Pixel Buds, even though one of the buds died, the case a year and a half later was still like, man,
the beauty of magnets.
I just keep this in my pocket and play with it. This is great.
Yeah, the original.
Robbie
first
kept
time
doing
I
it on the
got-
video, and our audio was.
Yeah, because it kept peeking it every day, like smack, smack. I'm like, sorry,
Come on, Robbie.
Can't help it.
you didn't notice.
I'm doing
either
it.
until
I'm sitting as I'm sitting here
I know.
doing it.
These sure microphones are like, we don't care.
Yeah, these are fine. But yeah, excellent product. We obviously need to spend a little bit more time with them. Have each of us kind of try them out.
And I
we'll
think
do
we're
a
gonna
review for these.
We're going to hold our review until Fast Pair and everything is fully rolled out. Like Fast Pair is coming this summer, so it might be into August until Fast Pair is out. It'd be fun if they just slid it in with all the other fun stuff that we're going to talk about in 104.
Yeah,
so
that would be
much
nice.
stuff coming. Yeah,
It'd be cool if they just went and included it because it's kind of there. Like the pairing part of it's there. That part's fine, but the benefit of Fast Pair and it connecting to your Google account, even though it says it's doing that, it's not. So like if I paired that with my Chromebook first, it's not like it showed up on my phone. It
Right.
didn't work that way. So eventually that part needs to work, obviously, for Fast Pair to fully be kicked into gear. But it's a multi-stage thing.
Yeah.
So I want that to be fully rolled out so like the multi-point stuff can be tested and we can talk to our audience about Pixel
How
Buds
these
are
work
great
with
with the Pixel.
a Chromebook,
They're
yeah.
also really cool with a Chromebook too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wait until that all is there.
Yeah. But okay, there you have it. That's everything on the Pixel Buds Pro. You can go buy them right now.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure to include a link so you can go check it out. Okay, we're going to take a quick break for an ad and we'll be right back. Today's episode of the Chromecast is brought to you by Visor. Do you manage your school district's Chromebooks? If you were tasked with getting hundreds or thousands of Chromebooks ready for students this summer, you'll want to listen to this. Visor is a Chromebook and IT asset management software solution designed specifically for school districts. Visor seamlessly integrates with the Google Admin Console and your student information system, including PowerSchool. With Visor, you can easily see which student has which Chromebook, manage repairs, and even automate disabling lost or stolen devices while notifying parents, all in one click. To see how Visor can help your school better manage Chromebooks, go to visor.cloud/unboxed. That's VIZOR.cloud/unboxed, or just click the link in the show notes. Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. So next up, we're going to dive into some ChromeOS news, which is always fun. We did a video that we put out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then this news came out Wednesday. Right?
Yes. Yeah. It's been a weird week.
We were right on it. But it's because we were thinking of a video to do. We were trying to come up with something to work on our first video of the week, and you hopped over to beta, which is 104.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what was going on. I was like, look at all this stuff.
Wow, it's all like all this stuff we've been talking about is all kind of coming together in this video, and then in beta, and now Google came out with a keyword blog post and said, hey, check out all this cool stuff. We were like, yeah, look at all that cool stuff. We just talked about it.
Which, by the way, how awesome is it that we are now at a place where Google's putting a lot more content on the keyword, pretty much everything they do, but we're getting long-term roadmap highlighted articles on the keyword for ChromeOS. Is so cool, because this wasn't just like, hey, here's some new features. It's like, hey, here's all this stuff that's coming to ChromeOS, and here's why it's important, and stuff that we've been working on.
In this post, they didn't like put a date on it. Yeah, they just said this is new stuff that's rolling out.
That's coming. Yeah.
So some of this stuff may not show up in 104. It's sitting there in beta. Some of it I can't
because some of it says August, some of it says September, and then like the video stuff is it just says fall.
Yeah.
So which I'm assuming that is Google. You have to have the Google Photos Android app on Chrome. Okay, gotcha.
And so it's going to have. Well, let's go and dive into that. So,
they're not even calling it Video Editor, are they?
What are they? Movie Maker and Video Editor upgrade. Because I guess technically you can edit videos in the Google Photos app right now.
Very basically.
Yeah. So now they're calling it.
You can trim them. Basically,
now it's a movie maker.
Yeah.
So
So I'll read this straight from Google's post. Creating an end-to-end movie made up of multiple video clips, photos, and a title card can come with a learning curve and take lots of time, but Google Photos revamped movie creation tools help you make high-quality movies with just a few taps. You'll be able to create beautiful movies from suggested themes, or put yourself in the director's seat, start from scratch right on your Chromebook.
Yeah.
And again, we did confirm that this is it's not via the web app. This is a Android app thing, but you'll get the Android app, and it's going to have special things laid out specifically for Chromebooks, and I would assume Android tablets too. Like maybe not right at first, but soon thereafter. Yeah. This is probably more of a, hey, this is a Google Photos thing for big screens. And eventually they'll figure the UI out and probably give you most of these tools on the phone too.
Because they referenced and said, coming first to Chromebooks, but I mean, obviously this is geared towards larger screens, like you said, and like, short form creators and stuff like that. This is a big deal because, like I mentioned in my article, I do some stuff on the side and making little Instagram videos and stuff for different projects, and I use online video editors. Right now I'm using FlexClip because I really like they have a huge selection of stock video and really good graphics and stuff like that. But a lot of times I just need to make a quick video that's either photos, videos, or both, and it just needs to have some music, some transitions, and some title cards.
Maybe some
title card,
some text.
Something. And I don't want to pay for a monthly subscription for an editor to be able to do that. This is going to there's no transitions in this, but there are, you can put all of your stuff in there. You can use all your filters. You can use real tone. You can adjust exposure and all that stuff. And then you can put some text in, and I don't know, when it says music, I don't know if they're going to have like a selection of music the way YouTube does, because YouTube has some stock.
It said this could change, but there's an add soundtrack.
Yeah, it says add soundtrack. So you might be able to add your own local music. I don't know, but it's going to be a really useful tool, because you're not only getting a quick video maker inside of the Google Photos app, you're getting all of the stuff that's already really cool about Google Photos, which their editing, their enhancement, and their tools to fix images and stuff is really, really good. So
because a lot of times, and we were talking to our Google rep about this specifically, I was like, a lot of times I'll go into a photo, I'll take a photo, I love the composition of the photo, But I'm not gonna sit there and mess with the shadows and all that stuff. I click the little auto button.
Yep.
There's an enhance button, and then now they've got the dynamic one too, depending on the photo. I'll click between one of those two and usually be like, yeah, that looks good, and save it and do what I'm going to do with it. And he assured me like that's what they want to do with this video editor. So you put these clips in there and you just hit that enhance button. It's just going to
whoop, here you go.
bring up the take down the shadows or whatever, fix most of it. And so for these short form type things, that makes life a lot easier for people to be able to just go like, okay, I'm not trying to make a feature film here. I'm trying to just put together a nice looking video, and it looks like it's going to be.
Plus, they have templates. So you just throw it in with the template, and you pick the clips that you want to use, and it just does everything for you.
Right.
But because there's a 16:9 button at the top of that, so I'm assuming there's going to be a 9:16 as well for YouTube Shorts. This will, you can do it directly from the YouTube app, but this will be great to make quick videos. Throw it up on the YouTube Shorts will be awesome.
Yeah. And they've, in the YouTube app creating shorts, they've added
quite a
several tools in there, and so I wonder if any of those will even spill over here, or there'll be any similarities in the two kind of over time. I think this is more of, hey, you filmed some videos of the kids playing baseball or whatever, and you can just easily come in here and boop, 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 click it, and it's just going to make something for you. Right?
You go on vacation, like you guys went to, amusement park this week, and you want to make a little video for the grandparents.
Right.
Boom, 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 throw it together.
Yeah.
Or, even for work stuff, like little quick presentations or just stuff like that, this will be very, very useful.
Yeah.
So.
But this isn't a full-blown video editor. This isn't LumaFusion.
Right,
this is
but they also
DaVinci. Resolve.
they went so far as to point out in the blog post that this is for this, but for those that need transitions and tracks and all of those things and the ability to do all that stuff, LumaFusion is still in the works and it's still coming. And it's, again, LumaFusion on ChromeOS is not going to be comparable to DaVinci Resolve or Final Cut, but it's going to be probably 90% of creators. It's probably going to be because if you use the word creators, you're talking about people like me who's doing smoke and cider on the side, and I just do little videos at home. It's going to have more than enough tools for me to do what I need to do. LumaFusion, I haven't used it nearly as much as you guys, but I know it's very powerful.
Yeah, so. I just made a note. Last time we mentioned it, I said I needed to follow up with them, and I think I sent an email, but I maybe didn't hear back, so I need to follow up with them again.
Yeah,
because I want to get an update.
Yeah, we need to
see
on
where
top
they're
of
at.
That.
We're
getting close to a demo.
Because they did a live demo at I/O. Yeah. And we were super excited to see that. I did reach out to them after that and just said, hey, this is amazing. Here's our article, covering this. And they were like, yeah, we were really excited. Yeah. They were like, that was the first demo, on a Chromebook that we had done. So we were really excited to get that out there. So hopefully they're making good progress. I'd love to hear from them where they're at.
Yeah,
because we want to be testing that, beta testing, and heck, whatever they're willing to share with us. I'd love to try that out and edit one of our videos on it. For the most part, other than just dealing with, massive files, we've tried to simplify our editing process. We do a kind of a pretty clean edit. We don't have a ton of crazy stuff that we do.
LumaFusion, it's all going to be local, right? It's not. There's no like web stuff involved. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So even dealing with large files, it should be fine.
Yeah.
And we've said this before. KineMaster had the opportunity to do this, and they didn't. Because it's great, but they never really focus on optimizing for Chrome OS.
Nope.
And
I think they were more focused and are still more focused about giving creation tools to people on a phone. That's just kind of where they're at. And
and
more power to them.
And cool.
That's what you want to do.
Yep, and cool. But yeah, this is something nice that I think will be something cool for Chromebook users to try first. That's always awesome whenever we get some exclusive stuff that it rolls out to a Chromebook first. That's always fun. And I think it'll just be something for the average creator or just, I think
probably
a lot of creators
educators too. This would probably be a really good tool for teachers.
And then presentations and stuff for work.
Oh,
I think, it could be a pretty useful tool. So it's nice. So what else?
So I'm just going to go down as we get through these. Gallery app is getting the ability to annotate, sign, highlight PDFs in the Gallery app instead of like right now. If you have one like Chrome does this pretty decently. I don't know if you got highlighter tools or not. I can't remember, but if I need to sign a PDF, I'll download it and you just drag it into a Chrome window. It pops up, grab my pen, and I can sign it and save it. And it's the same thing. It's just in the
So
gallery app.
It's giving Gallery app the ability to handle PDFs, which the Gallery app is now an SWA, I believe, isn't
Yes.
it? So there's no reason it shouldn't. And before we move on, I forgot, they did mention in the blog post for the video editor movie maker thing, you'll be able to take your files, you'll be able to seamlessly move from your Files app gallery to Google Photos. So there'll be an option in there to like edit with Google Photos or create or whatever. So
Yeah, which would be good because right now, like you install Google Photos and it feels very bolted on to the ChromeOS experience, like to the point where I don't ever use the Android app, to be honest with you. I just use the web app. It's not as full featured, but it'll be nice to see. It sounds like Google Photos is getting prepped to be like legit ready for Chromebooks now, which is cool.
Yeah.
The screencast app, I thought that came in last update.
is there something
I think
new
they're just.
in there?
I don't think so.
The way the blog post read or the email read, some of it
Here's
was
some new
just
stuff.
highlighting
Right.
stuff that has come to ChromeOS.
Yeah, and they highlighted cursive as well.
Screencast is
It's
very cool.
awesome. Yeah.
So it's a great
It's
tool.
so awesome.
It's going to be one of those things that's going to be there and be awesome, and the people that use it are going to find so much value in it, and the people that don't probably will just forget it was ever there.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
awesome,
made
though.
it to stable yet or not, but like the selfie cam's enabled by default now where I'm at,
Yeah.
and it just works.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Go check out our interview with Andy Russell talking about
Yeah.
Screencast. It's a great chat.
It's just a great tool. Let's see. Docs, you're catching up emails. Okay, that's moving on. Canva, Figma. So they basically spent a chunk of this just highlighting applications that work well in Chromebooks.
Yeah.
So then moving on, like a lot of what we talked about in the video is the rest of this. So there's the personalization. We're calling it the personalization hub.
Right.
It was referred to that somewhere a lot.
I was wrong.
But I think in settings right now it just says personalization, but it is a hub, and I would assume that more stuff is going to get added to it over time. But
Yeah.
in beta right now, if you go to change your wallpaper, for instance, this thing pops up. So it handles your lock screen stuff. So you've got 3 options there: slideshow, the one that's like the clothespins in the
Floating by or whatever.
and then the
called.
other one that's like images floating by with a bunch of material U blobs of color. All of those can access Google Photos if you want, or the Google Art stuff or whatever. So you can decide what you want on those. But cool screensaver, weather, date,
lock
all that
screen
kind of
stuff. Does beta have the light theme, dark theme stuff now?
So on the left side of that, you've got your light, dark, and then auto time theme, which I love. I was actually using my Chromebook the other evening when it flipped over, and I was like, oh, this is cool to see it flip from light theme to dark theme when the sun sets, like your phone does. And the fact that just light theme and dark theme, I think, are finally here.
Yeah,
it's like we waited forever,
forever.
and it seemed like there were so many different iterations and things they were trying, and then now it's just like it's just there and it works really great. And they've had those wallpapers for a while now that change depending on which theme you're using,
Elements?
which is they're called elements, and they are so cool looking.
Yeah, and so when he goes to dark theme, it's the same background, just in a dark version, and you see it kind of change as it goes. And that also allows you to do your wallpaper picker in that little hub there too. And inside of that, at least in 104 beta right now, is probably my favorite of all of these additions, the fact that Google Photos is now in the wallpaper picker.
Yep.
So click it and you see any albums that you have. You see your entire Google Photos feed. And I'll go and say it here because I'm probably going to write this maybe tomorrow, maybe today, I don't know. The fact that they've got that in there on a system web app basically is what the productivity app would be. The file picker in ChromeOS is also a system web app as well. There is no reason at this point to me that they couldn't have your Google Photos as one of your things that are mounted in. You don't need the Google Photos app, or maybe they'll do it with this new app, Google Photos app integration. I don't know, but I don't care. I over on the side where I can choose drive and all that kind of stuff in my file picker, I should be able to click it. If you can deliver it in the wallpaper picker, and it's the entire thing. I mean, you see your entire Google Photo feed that you would see if you went to photos.google.com, or you can click the album tab and see every one of your albums. If you can do that, that's all anyone would ask you to do in the file picker.
Because I know more people probably use Drive than anything, but me personally, I'd rather have direct access to Google Photos than Drive.
Yeah, and it'd be so simple. Like I snap a photo and I get there's the the recent photos thing, which is awesome that you could use on your Chromebook too. But being able to snap it and then not have to go to recent photos to download that, because that recent photos thing downloads it to your hard drive on your Chromebook. It's just one extra step. If the Google Photos is just mounted there. It's just there. It's just sitting there. I love that. There's no reason that shouldn't be an option moving forward, because it's so well integrated in the wallpaper picker. Surely to goodness they can do this with the Files app at this point. So, but it's nice to see there. It makes it super handy to just quickly sort wallpapers now. I have a folder in Google Drive that I put all my wallpapers in, and so I go to Drive and I go to Backgrounds and I find the one I want and I right click it and set as wallpaper and then cross my fingers and hope on the next Chromebook I go to. Sometimes it follows, it's fine, but then sometimes it just doesn't for some reason. I don't really know why. This should solve that, because Google Photos is one of the places it can choose from, so it knows where to go to get it every time. So super excited about that being there. So that's kind of all the personalization stuff. This was not officially in Google's blog post, but I noticed in beta, the productivity launcher for me, I have a couple devices in beta, it was showing up for me on all those devices all the time. For whatever reason, I haven't been getting the productivity launcher in stable. Other people have. And on one device, it showed up for me, and I was like, oh, I guess I got it now. Maybe it's an account level thing, but it wasn't showing up on my other devices. In beta, it seems to be.
I need to check
on
beta.
The thing.
I need to log into a beta device and see, because I had it for so long in Canary that it was just like I forgot that it wasn't like a standard thing.
Oh yeah.
But for whatever reason, maybe it's just because of resources, it left Canary like 2 or 3 updates ago.
Really?
It's back to the normal launcher. It's so weird.
Old Canary.
Yeah, I'm in 106 now.
Golly.
It's crazy.
Gabe's in version
10.
110.
And it's so good. Like, it just looks good.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, it
like
looks
the
great.
animation as it pops in.
I
when
still
you
don't understand the sort
stuff.
by color. I don't get it.
I don't know. Why would people do that?
I don't know. I have
some
no
peop-
idea why
some
anyone would
people are-
sort
You
their
have
apps
two
by
choices.
color. Yeah.
Alphabetical and by color. I'm like,
I don't get it.
huh.
I guess if you had them sorted by color and you just
You know.
You know.
YouTube's red. I just got to find the red
Right.
area.
What if you're colorblind?
right?
Then sort by alphabet.
Yeah.
That's why it's no use to me.
I don't know. I have no idea. That's weird.
That's interesting.
But yeah, so you've got that, that's there, whatever. We've talked about all of these things for a long time, so it's not like that's a new thing. But again, all of this stuff is showing up in beta 104 with no flags. So I'm hoping that when 104 hits stable, all of these things will be there too.
And we noticed, we were looking at the schedule. It seems like 104's gotten
6 weeks.
right.
So
It is on a 6 week. Yeah.
So from 103 to 104 was a 6 week turn.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And
So maybe they're trying to get all of this kind of together.
Yeah, they built themselves in an extra 2 weeks just to make sure, to probably have time to make sure all this is in line, because it goes right back to 4 weeks after that. But this was a 6 week.
Is Chrome on 6 week too?
Yeah, I think this 104
To keep them both on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 104 was a 6 week. Then there's Google also talked about in their blog post the saving your desk templates.
Yeah.
And the GIF they have in there looks so sweet. Like you hit it and all of it, you
Whoosh.
see it all
Yeah,
animate
it's
to collapse.
so material
and goes
design.
up.
It looks
It's so sweet
good.
looking. I don't know how often I'll use. I think maybe once it's in stable and I know it's not going to go away and show up and then not work, and then maybe I'll start using it, because I set my desks up the same every time, and sometimes they're not there. Sometimes the desks are there, my apps aren't back in them, and I go through and open the same stuff and put the same stuff in them. So if I can save all of them and just have an entire desk set up that I can just go and all that stuff opens for me.
I can't wait for I try it every single time I get an update, but there's a flag for setting individual wallpapers. I have it on, but it still doesn't. Every time, the other day I did it and I thought it worked, but the other desk hadn't caught up yet. I was like, oh man, because that would, to be able to go to any Chromebook, log in with your email account, and you've automatically got all your stuff, the background photos and all that stuff, man, that would be so
and just like visually as you're swiping through, knowing
it makes
like
it so much easier.
I don't know. It'd be neat to have those
this,
separate.
This background is that thing. It's
I mean,
cool.
like
I
you've got disc golf stuff. You have a disc golf photo on that background, so immediately that's where my disc golf stuff is.
Yeah, it's me. It's me in the forest throwing my putt.
Yeah, it's that one where you're throwing into the abyss.
And then the final thing that we talked about was the notification area.
Yeah.
Like the notifications finally have the updated look to them. And it just matches the productivity
Just looks so
launcher. It matches
clean.
the
Is that in
phone
104?
hub.
Like the round reply? Oh,
Yep.
looks like-
and like-
really? Because
it
it,
looks like a
just
slightly-
showed up in Canary the other day. They must have pushed it just.
I don't know that I'd have to go look to
Yeah.
see that rounded pill shape.
Yeah.
I think they're all
Right.
rounded. I'm pretty sure.
but they
but
had
the-
a border around it and everything. It was very interesting. C2 Productions actually tweeted at us about it the other day. So,
But it's more the like right now, if you look at a Chromebook in stable, like notifications come in, they've got a white background to them, and they kind of take up the whole space, and they're weird
Yep.
looking. This has a notification center that's got the same rounded corners that the next thing underneath of it has, that the phone hub has, that every
All that
piece has. It looks
Barely,
exactly
slightly opaque.
Yep.
And
And then-
background.
The notifications sit inside that, and they look like they belong finally.
Yeah,
Like they actually
looks
look
great.
like, and the one that slides in whenever you get a new notification it just fits. It
Right.
all looks good. And so that part's fixed. And then, you get the split, which you've probably had it for a while, the split clock and settings.
yeah.
But that's finally rolled out in 104.
Which I love. Yeah.
So the time is one click. So the calendar comes up, you hit back on it, it flips over into the, main quick settings. And
As often as I'm in my calendar, I'm
I
going
love
to
it.
use
Oh,
that so
I don't-
much.
and it has the animation, like when you click into an event or a day, it
Yeah.
slides up and
So
shows
you,
you
and,
your
you
stuff.
and you see the little dots. You just click the dots and boop.
I don't know if you've tested this one or not, but I saw it working in Canary without the flag. You can drag to pin an app. Have you tried that? So if you drag an app from
Yeah.
the launcher to
I remember
the
that showing
pin
up.
To the
side
side.
of the shelf, it'll pin it
Ooh, let me
automatically.
just
Which
see
is
if that's
neat.
in beta.
Yeah.
It feels
nice.
like it feels like it would fit with this update. Like there's just all these
So much productivity focused stuff.
and they're not like big, huge, sweeping changes or new things that we haven't seen before. It's just like they're all finally going, okay, it's time to move all these things in. And it just adds this cohesive feel to all of it. Like everything feels like it belongs and it's thought through, and that's just not been the case for ChromeOS for a long time. Like they change one part, but they leave that part still 10 years old, and like it's always kind of bolted on.
You know what the next thing they need to focus on is the out-of-box screen for Google Play Store. It still looks 1984-ish. It's bad.
And I did notice a device. I had power washed it and then put it in beta. And when I went through the setup process, like the personalization hub shows up during your out-of-box experience. So you actually set your stuff. It had a pin set up, so I went ahead and set my pin during the setup. I went ahead and set my wallpaper. I went ahead and set my dark theme settings during the setup
We
process.
saw a new setup screen the other day when we were logging into something.
We
But
need
I
to-
don't think it
I
was
probably just need to
that,
power
though.
wash another one, look at it and see what all's in there, because that might be another cool thing to
Yeah.
be on the lookout for,
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
an article.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a lot of stuff that looks really nice, and again, some of it's functionally different. Saving, being able to annotate PDFs in the gallery. Obviously, the movie maker is a huge deal. Saving your screen, your virtual desks. But that the productivity launcher is more of a looks thing than it is a function thing. It just looks better, works better. The notifications just look better. The calendar thing just works better when it's split, and it just all looks better. It looks cohesive. It looks like it belongs. Like somebody actually thought about it for a minute and went and did it. And so we're just not always accustomed to that with Chrome OS. Android gets a lot more of that. From hey, we're going to make sure this is all following Material U, and you're starting to feel that influence slowly but surely eke into Chrome OS. Like they're not trying to make it look like a big blown up Android. They're not doing that, but the elements of Material U are starting to invading Chrome OS, and it's like you would expect Phone Hub and Tote and all those things to look the same. If it pops up in the corner, it should look the same as all the other things that pop up in the corner.
Yeah.
And that has not been the case, and now it is. Like they all kind of have
It's
the same
funny,
look.
your rant about Google Photos in the Files app, and Michael had written this up last year sometime, but it's the first time I've seen it. I don't know if it's actually in any other channel, but I don't go to the new tab page very often. I usually start where I left off, and then I usually navigate to wherever I'm going. While I open a new tab page today, and lately I've been getting a lot of recipes because I've been cooking a lot of stuff lately, and then the next set of cards is cart. So
the shopping.
I had been looking at something on Amazon, and it showed the cart was I'd put the 6A in there because they're doing the free $50 gift card with the 6A.
Okay. Yep.
So it said, hey, you left this in your cart. Well, the card below it was Google Photos memories,
Oh yeah.
And when you click, I'd never seen that before. And then when you enable it, you get that same strip that you do in Google
It's
Photos
nice.
on your phone. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it showed up a while back, but it's so far down the new tab page.
You don't see it.
I just open a new tab and go where I'm
Oh,
going.
yeah,
I
hardly
rarely interact with the new tab page. I do like have they added, I don't think they've added it yet, but on Android Chrome, you get your Discover feed, the new tab page, and then there's the tab where you can follow sites.
Yeah.
I've still not made a good habit of doing it yet.
I haven't either, but I do.
If you
think
start
that could be
following
cool.
it, it becomes a curated news feed for you. Like,
It's nice.
And I added like Chrome Unboxed and The
Oh, that's
Verge in there,
neat.
and I'm like,
Continue browsing. Interesting.
oh yeah, I've seen that pop up before too. But yeah, the following thing, like I feel like it would be really useful. I just keep forgetting it's there, and
it's
to set up and leverage it. So that's one of the things
So
I want to do.
So while we're talking about ChromeOS design and some of these new features and things that have rolled out, what is missing? What's your top thing? And Gabe, we were prepping for an interview that ended up having to get rescheduled. We can't say who it was, but we were prepping for an interview and we were maybe thinking about some of this, and you threw out I can't remember exactly what you said, something about widgets.
Yeah, and this isn't my thing. I don't care for them. I like having nothing on my desktop. When I was a Windows guy, the only thing on my desktop was my trash can. I did not put things on my desk, and I'm not like the most organized person in the world, but that's the one area of my life that was always bare.
Yeah.
But since ChromeOS first came to the public view, people have wanted widgets. They want widgets or desktop icon, and I'm like, no way on desktop icons. I don't think they should do that at all. I don't think it should be a thing. Widgets,
not the way that
maybe like a widget space area, like a certain area we can have. What Windows is doing, they've now added third-party PWAs are now eligible to be in their widget space. If they had a pop-up widget area, I think that would be awesome. And Google's kind of done that a little bit with the launcher. You get like recent and cards and stuff. But I think widgets would be cool to a degree. I probably wouldn't use them that much, but I know a lot of people want widgets on.
Well, especially with virtual desks, you get kind of the home screens that you have on Android, basically.
But
so
and that's
you can
another
put
thing.
Different widgets on different.
A lot of people just think, well, if I have Android apps on my Chromebook, I should be able to add. If this app has a widget, I should be able to use it.
Yeah, sure.
I get that.
I'm a widget guy. I don't use a ton of them, but I like the ones.
The ones I have, I use.
I use them
lot.
all the time. I use the calendar widget constantly. I use my YouTube Music widget all the time.
Yep.
Google News widget. I like to see stuff, just scroll through and be like, oh, and click it. You know, I love the at a glance widget. Like to be able to have at a glance on a Chromebook.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
To have a clock widget there that when I click it, it has a few different options or whatever. Maybe it just links straight to the to Google Calendar or whatever. Sure. I don't know. Or the alarm clock app that is on Chromebooks that you don't realize is on there. It is. It's
we did an article like 5 years ago about how to install that on a Chromebook.
It just hides in there. It's in there. You just have to find it. But it never surfaces for anything. There must be dependencies in Android apps that need the clock app to be there in order to function, and that's why it's there. Because it does not get surfaced anywhere, but it's there. Trust me. If you have Android apps on the Android clock, the standard Google clock widget or app is on your phone.
So you have to go search for it in the Play Store and then open it from there because it will not show up in your system.
It doesn't even show up in your system apps either.
Whatsoever.
It's there. It's hard to find.
Yeah.
But like having some of those basic widgets would be super helpful. I think. And I don't see it coming because I keep adding. They add more stuff like the widget or the calendar widget that's technically down there, and your phone hub and stuff like that has those sections for those types of things. I just don't know that they're going to add a bunch of widgets to the home screen. At least not right now. I think it would be cool, but I just don't see it on the roadmap.
Yeah. Anything else?
The biggest thing I've got still is just continuing to make tablet mode more seamless and better. They keep working on it, and we don't have a ton of tablets. I get that, so maybe it's less of an issue. But I think it's a chicken egg kind of thing. Like you don't want to make a tablet for this mostly good tablet experience when you could just make an Android tablet. So I think a lot of manufacturers just go make an Android tablet instead, and it's like, but if you fix that, I know there's not a ton of tablets now that take advantage of it, but if you completely fix it, like lean all the way,
barriers,
lean all the way in and fix it. Like mostly good. Like there's just some weird jankiness to even on high end Chromebooks. Sometimes there's weird jank to the touch response and stuff, and it's like, fix that stuff. But I want to see, my biggest hope is to see a Chromebook with a dedicated high refresh display on it.
Yeah,
because ChromeOS can handle it. It's not about ChromeOS being able to handle it. We need a piece of hardware with 120 hertz screen on it.
Just the actual physical hardware needs to be used. Yeah.
I don't think we've written it up yet, but there's a word going around that they're working on giving Chromebooks hotspot capabilities, which so you'd be able to, if you have a LTE Chromebook, you'll be able to use it as a hotspot, which makes sense. And I saw the headline last week, and then I think The Verge might have picked it up too. We had this conversation a couple years ago when LTE Chromebooks were first starting. I'm like, that actually makes really, really good sense. I mean, you're an educator or something like that. You have an LTE device, you're out on the go, and you need to share your data with somebody else. That makes perfect sense.
I mean, it probably wouldn't be that far of a stretch for them to do either. No. And we've got 5G Chromebooks, should be coming.
Hopefully soon.
There's none out yet, but the stuff is there in development for it to happen. So.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, we're in this really cool space of ChromeOS now with these 4 week, generally 4 week. This one's 6 week, but generally 4 week cycle where it's just this refinement each time, and it's not like they're trying to pile on all this stuff. Sometimes it would feel like that, like they pile on all this stuff to try to hit that release, and then it would release and it wouldn't quite be right, and it's like, all right, these 4 weeks. Get everything in there that you can, and just iterate, right, and keep improving.
It's one or two small things each time. It's okay because nobody's going, oh, it's going to be another 2 months before we get an update. It's like 4 weeks, before you know it, another one's coming.
Yeah,
and so they can just kind of focus in on, let's hone this one, now let's hone that one.
Yeah,
and I feel like they gave themselves 6 weeks this time, so they can kind of put the finishing touches on a bunch of stuff that's been right at the surface of launching for a while.
I mean, just from this blog post alone, it's clear that this has they've been planning this stuff, trying to get everything lined out on the map.
I saw Alex was the author for the post, which is cool. We've talked with him a few times.
One of our favorite Googlers. Pretty awesome.
Okay, I think that's it for this week. One thing I forgot to mention right up front: if you're still with us, first of all, I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in.
Way to go!
Yeah, appreciate it.
Pat on the back.
There's a couple days left in our. We've got your backpack giveaway, so it's going to end at the end of the month, so July 31st, which is Sunday. So if you're listening to this the day we publish on Friday, and you are an educator or you know an educator that's eligible, please tell them to go enter to win. This is our biggest giveaway we've ever done. Huge shout out to Logitech for making it possible. We're giving away 30 Chrome packs that are stuffed full of everything you need to attach to the Chromebook. It's just incredible. It's been such a fun giveaway to do, and we've had such great response from
feedback.
Folk.
I was looking through Facebook last night.
It's just been so cool. Awesome. Yeah, it's been great. And so if you haven't entered to win and you're eligible, it's all currently employed K through 12 staff, faculty, admins, leadership.
I vote now that once the official winner is announced and Logitech gets them hooked up, we arrange a meet and greet.
That would be great.
That would be so cool.
That would be great.
I
hope it's somebody local.
It's gonna be out like Washington.
They're gonna be in Alaska.
No, we get that Tesla we've been talking about getting, and we just hit a road trip. Who cares if it's local? I mean,
drive.
Whatever.
Just drive. Hop in the Tesla.
I think it'd be great.
Autopilot, sleep.
Yeah, it's
like we would show up at the school and they'd be like, "We have no idea who these guys
who
are
you?
But we got these cool bags." So
they're gonna,
it's all good.
They're gonna be like, "Wait, we saw that dude on YouTube. We think. I don't know." But it's been great. It's been awesome. Again, huge shout out to Logitech for making all this possible. They reached out and said they wanted to do something cool, and something cool we have done. So very awesome. We're excited to wrap it up. We're excited to pick a winner. So we will pick the winner on Monday. And we will. We've got a little bit more of an extensive verification process for this one, obviously, because we got to make sure that they're eligible, and then we'll make that announcement. So really excited about it. If you're eligible, please go get entered to win. Okay, we appreciate you all tuning in and watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to go down there, give us a thumbs up if you like this, click subscribe and the notification bell, and we'll catch you all next week. See ya.